Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast, powered by Swing Juice. Visit swingjuice.com. Use promo code Beehive20 for 20% off your golf and MLB PA apparel. Tonight's show, good one. Not a lot of stuff. The things that sting short. We'll get to that here in a second. We're going to go to talk about a few random things like normal to start the show, like we always do, and then get into a little bit of baseball, local shout-outs to follow that, and then we'll do our weekly reality overreaction. This will be week 7? Was that last week? Week 7?
Think so.
Yeah, this is week 8.
Sounds right. Yeah.
So week 7, reality or overreactions for the NFL. Sports history is going to be, today's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. We went to dinner. It was nice. I scrambled home and got some writing done. So sports history, which is her favorite segment, is going to be Barb's birthday edition, October 26th. So we're just doing 3 fast facts for October 26th. Sketty on. Taking a walk down memory lane with Tom Brady. Sketty on Tom Brady. It's about the 5th time he's been in that segment. Things that sting. We got 1 bye week boogie. First bye week for the NFL. Already 1 player arrested. It's great. I love keeping track of that. Bye weeks are like prime time for NFL arrests. So we had one. So we'll talk about that a little bit. The cancel culture is coming after Al Michaels. Didn't really work, but they tried. Refs getting some autographs from Mike Evans. Apparently not. Talk about that a little bit. And our one and only things that sting Hall of Famer, Antonio Brown, back in the news. Nobody's surprised by that. And then the last story will be a little bit on the sadder side, a tragic loss of a San Jose State running back in an accident that took place last week. Then when we get to My Hive, we're kicking off My Hive with a couple guests. We got Coach Damcott and Coach Miller coming on from the Dogs, and then we will get to the 3-bagger for our Week 8 picks. Let's go.
Welcome to the Beehive Sports Podcast. Here are your hosts, Joe and Sketty.
The opening buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Attention hunters, your favorite camo cans are back. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. Please drink responsibly. And Napoli Pizza, that's right, when there's football season on Tbsp, there's Napoli's weekly specials, pickup or delivery available, located in North Warren and Hillview Signs and Graphics. Hillview Towing, 814-730-0348. Golf trip week is upon me, Sketty.
Yeah, when do you leave?
Saturday morning. I'm on a jet plane, heading to Myrtle Beach. So next week, it's going to be interesting. I have a plan. So I'm not going to I know you probably thought, because I did think about it. I thought about because I can access this from my phone. So I could just jump in at any time if I wanted to. I'm not going to. Next week's show will be hosted by Sketty. He's going to be the main character.
Oh, joy.
And our boy, Andy McIntosh, who's in the comments already making fun of you, saying, figured things that sting would be the Niners record. So here's the thing. I'm not even going to watch live.
Okay.
I'm staying out of it completely. I'm going to download the audio from either Odyssey or Spotify, and I'm going to listen to it on the plane on the ride home Saturday. If I can wait that long. I probably won't be able to do that, but that's ideally, in my head, that's what I have figured out. Terry, haven't talked to you in a while, buddy. Hope all is well. Greetings from the Sooner State, he says. So golf trip weekend kicking off here. I'm going to get to see some old Warren pals and Mickles. I'm going to see them for a little while, and then golfing starts. Registration Sunday. I found a Bills backers bar, Jimmigan's. That's where we're going to go watch the Bills destroy Green Bay. And then golf starts Monday. Practice round, 3 tournament rounds to follow. And I was looking at some of the scores and stuff, and it's handicapped. I still don't know how they do it because they haven't requested like anything, like any score. So I don't know how they do it. But I mean, obviously, I'm in the system, so I can just show them that when I get down there if that's what they want.
Yeah.
But I also don't I don't know. There's a practice round. Do you think they base some of it off of that? Maybe you play 4 different courses, so I don't know how the hell they're going to do that. But like they do, they do net and everything. It's all there. So
I would assume they just get it when you register, but I couldn't tell you.
It could be. I mean, yeah, Sunday is registration. It's its own day. So if they make that a day-long event, then it's probably, they probably get you in somewhere at that point. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a good time. I'm also looking forward to the episode with you and Andy because I just think it's going to be great. And I have all the faith in the world in you. I'm not even worried.
That makes one of us.
Should I be?
We'll find out. How bad did I screw it up?
I'm going to make sure you have such a good crowd, too. Just everybody in here showing you all the support. It's great. We got 10 people, 13's jumping up. Make sure you smash that like button, love button, or if Sketty is your favorite character on the show, hit the angry button. That's how we split it up to know who Sketty's fans are. Hit the anger button and leave it there. It's fine. We know you're not mad at us. If other people see it and they think you're mad, that's on them. They need to start listening, and then they'd know the rules. So if you support our boy Sketty here, just hit the angry button. That's what we request. All right. So good stuff last week. Hours after the show, not even hours after the show, right? Al Michaels breaks the news on Thursday Night Football. Literally 2 hours after you were saying how bad you didn't want San Francisco to go after Christian McCaffrey, they trade for him. So.
Yeah. Trade the whole draft. Brilliant.
So we're going to get, I don't want you to divulge too much yet, because that's obviously in our NFL part coming up, but I just, the timing of that was just fucking hilarious to me.
Amazing.
I thought you were messing with me. No, I was not. Yeah, because I broke the news to you, right?
Yeah. I didn't hear him say it on the
it's
show.
Awesome.
And yeah, no good.
All right, so something we haven't discussed in a while: fantasy football.
Yep.
Where are you at? What's the teams doing? Where are you standing with your leagues? How many are you in?
Well, I'm in technically 4, I guess. A survivor pool, which team's pretty solid there. I feel like I'm going to make it through this week, but just picked up Cooper Kupp in that one. So Cooper Kupp, Travis Kelce duo kind of leading the way. My one big league with my high school buddies, we're like, I think I'm 5-2. I kind of got house this week. Kid I was playing has Kenneth Walker, Austin Eckler, and Josh Jacobs. Rest of his team scored like 30 points combined, and I still got smoked because those guys had like 90-some between them. And then in my one other league, I think Jonathan Taylor and Keenan Allen were my top 2 picks, and they both have played like a combined 3 games or something like that. So it's just, that one's not good. Did get a big win this week, but second one on the year. Not good. That one's playoffs are out.
Do you recall early in the season when we talked fantasy football and my team started out? I'm in a 6-man league. So everybody, like, people see my roster, I show them my roster, and they're like, holy shit. And I'm like, yeah, there's only 6 people in the league. Like, we up the, it's 200 to get in, and there's only 6 of us. It's just the way we wanted it. 6 frogs in a pond, of course, named by California. But I started off 0-2. Things were not looking great. Since have rattled off 5 straight victories and launched my way into first place. Picked up some pretty solid guys along the way, because of course the benches are deep. Free agent pool's relatively deep. You can get some guys off of there through waivers and all that. But it's completely turned around. Of course, the way the draft went. And I don't even know if we really got into that when it happened back in, I think we did it the first week of September. I got Henry and Barkley. Like those were both available for me to take. So I snagged both of them. Of course, everybody was going, Dalvin Cook, Jonathan Taylor, I think was first overall, of course. And, just there was a slew of other running backs who were kind of going before these guys. And I think I got Barkley in the second on my way back through, the snake draft. But and I think I picked second. I took Derrick Henry with my second pick. And then Barkley, because everybody was afraid to take him. I think Brendo got Christian McCaffrey in like the third round, or maybe even further than that. I can't remember, but yeah, it was just people were scared of him and Barkley. So, but yeah, things are looking good. I did get knocked out of. We're in the loser pool, which is over. In fact, there's 4 people remaining. I think out of 12 in the loser pool that we do with the Erie folks, Cowboy, me, myself, and Rye podcast. Those guys. So 4 people left. 3 of us took the Bears last week.
Yikes.
Opposite Survivor. For those of you who couldn't figure that out, it's opposite of Survivor. You pick who's going to lose that week. You can pick each team one time and that's it. And yeah, 3 of us had the Bears. I was feeling good about that.
Yeah.
I was feeling real good about that. And then, just things happen. So we're all out, and Cowboy actually won. The host of Me, Myself, and Rye podcast won. Yeah, he won. So it's done. Okay, one last thing before we get into what's going on in the sports world. So we've talked about this briefly multiple times now. The Beehive Sports Podcast best male and female fall athlete, the local high schools, 2 candidates from each school. Still haven't heard from Sheffield. I talked to the guy on the phone, Copeland. Talked to him on the phone, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I'll get him to you." And I got, nothing. Just haven't heard back from him. So, kind of, I'm at a point now where next week I won't be involved. The following week, I'll be back. And if we haven't heard from him by then we just move on without Sheffield. That's just the way it's going to be. So, if you know the athletic director from Sheffield, you should tell him that we are growing impatient, because everybody else was like, bam, here they are. The fall sports are over. They're into playoffs. Here's who we got. Here's the candidates. And I want to announce them. I want these, 6 students who have been turned into me to hear their name called. And then, of course, it goes in front of the committee. The committee chooses. We pick 2. Going to get a plaque and a T-shirt for them. And because of NIL, we can't even buy them dinner, which I think is pretty fucking dumb. But that's still. Chris Bunk sends me stuff all the time on the NIL and like updates on it, because he goes, "So if this goes through, like NIL deal," and I'm like, "Hell yeah! Like we'll give you." I don't know what he's expecting, if he thinks we're like hood rich off of this podcast, but we're not. Can't give him that.
Can't give him Busch Light.
Can't give him Busch Light. I don't know. Get you a few chocolate milks at the Pepper Mill, and maybe $50. $50. Sound good? You let me know. But yeah, so we'll see how it goes. But for the time being, we can't do too much for them except for give them some recognition, and we will explain the criteria when we announce everybody. The criteria is a little bit different. It's not stat oriented. Those are the Benji Bowers. I'm not saying this in a negative way towards Benji, but breaking records, huge portion of their offense for Eisenhower. Wouldn't necessarily be somebody who would qualify for our award, because we're looking for something a little bit different. So we have some criteria that, like I said, we'll explain it all once we can actually announce who the students are. So, all right. Moving on in. World Series beginning Friday. Astros back again. Loving it. The sweep of the Yankees was, you know how that felt for me. After a year of silence, a year of not making fun of them, it took everything I had to not make fun of the Yankees, because I just can't stand them. Primarily their fans. And it's not even really the local one, like the people I know who are Yankee fans. There aren't really too many I know who I can't stand. It's the ones who I don't know who, like, I find in comment sections and I just want to hit my head off of a wall. But they did make some history. So for every bad thing I say about the Yankees, I'll say something good about them. They made some history. They were the first team to strike out 50 plus times and get swept in a playoff series.
How very Pittsburgh Pirates have you?
Well, not really,
Pirates
because
have to make the playoffs.
They've been in the playoffs. Yeah, they're in the playoffs.
Fair.
So Game 4 tickets were going for $28 in the Bronx. You could pay $28 to go to ALCS Game 4. And that is why, that's what I'm saying about Yankee fans. Like, that's my whole point is they're chanting, sell the team in the crowd, sell the team. They're booing Aaron Judge. We went over that last week. Jake Arrieta, I read today, was on a podcast, some podcast he's on frequently or was a guest on, I don't know. But he said that if he was Judge, he'd say, fuck y'all, and I'm out. So I kind of hope Judge does that. But no, this should be a pretty good series. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. We got a theory. Terry says, just a theory. The Phillies are going to win every time they win the World Series. We have a recession.
I have seen that floating around the internet.
No, that's not good.
They're pointing it out. So your Astros got a lot of pressure right now.
Whew, okay. Well, it just comes down to pitching. They're both pretty good offensively. If it comes down to pitching, the Astros, I think, are just deeper when it gets into the bullpen and stuff. So, I'm a homer in this regard. Obviously, I'm going to be pulling for the Astros to win. Also, I think it'd be really cool if Philly lost and then fast forward to February, the Eagles somehow sneak into the Super Bowl, because I still am not convinced that they're this powerhouse team.
They don't need to sneak in. Who's going to beat them in the NFC?
That's true. I guess. I was going to say they don't have to sneak into the playoffs.
No, they're running into the playoffs, and I don't know who's going to beat them. In the playoffs. Again, I'm going to say my Niners would have a chance if they could get if they were only missing 5 starters, they would have a chance. But I don't know if that's going to happen.
Andy says the Giants are going to do it.
I think we're on the same page. I'm a fan of the Giants. I think they're pretty tough, but 3-point favorites or 3-point dogs in Seattle, right?
I know, that is weird.
3-point dogs in Seattle. So that means Vegas thinks that you are as good as the Seahawks, Andy. Yikes. That's a bad look. That is bad
weird.
Look.
I found that weird also. But where I was going with that is I'd like to see the Phillies lose the World Series and then the Eagles lose the Super Bowl all on the same stretch of seasons. I think that'd be good for America.
What if it's not the Bills they're playing in the Super Bowl? You'd rather see the Chiefs win?
Assuming the Chiefs knock the Bills out, then I wouldn't hate it. They're good. They're a good team, and if it comes down to those two, and then after the fact, everybody says, well, it wouldn't have mattered who won that game. It was just whoever won that game was winning the Super Bowl. I don't know. That's just my kind of thought on it. I don't like Philly. I know. I'll just come out and say it. I'm not trying to hide anything. I will probably root. Yeah, I might root for Russia if they were playing Philadelphia. I'm not sure. All right. Local shout-outs. Ike football, obviously 9-0. They do have one regular season game to go. Right, Gerard?
Yeah, Gerard. Yeah, I actually talked to Andrew Morrison at the restaurant what day was he in? Sunday morning. Because Warren has already beat Gerard.
Shout out. Congrats, Andrew Morrison. Going to be a girl dad.
Yep, girl dad. Yep.
Girl dad. Congrats, Andrew.
But he says Eisenhower should roll them. He said they're not very good.
So they can yank starters early, rest them for playoffs. That's
hopefully
would be the idea, right? I would think.
Yep.
Benji Bauer breaks the single season rushing record. It's the second record he's broke this season. 145 yards against Iroquois. Lands him at 1,621 for the season. The previous record of 1,586 was set in 1991. And his name's Steve. His last name's Witty?
Yeah, I think it's Witt. I can't remember. I can't remember the pronunciation of it.
See, I usually go to Hagberg in situations like this, and I forgot. Usually I'll text him and say, how do I say this name? And he's like, Johnny on the spot for that. But, yeah, so one game to go. Like I said, they did get some bad news in the Iroquois game, though.
Yeah.
Wyatt Lookenhouse.
Okay. Oh, leading receiver, correct?
And he's done. Season over.
Yeah.
So, Dave's helping us out here. It's Witty.
There you go. Thanks, Dave.
Yeah, so that sucks. Because he was, they aren't a huge passing team. Everybody's pretty well aware of that. But, when they did throw, they were looking his way or Bunk's way. And it's just shitty timing, especially, 2 games to go before playoffs. But hopefully, that's just the way it is. It's next man up. And that was pretty much what Bunk said when I talked to him about it. He's the one who told me. And, Chris, new nickname, Chris, won't you take me down to Bunky Town, said that it's next man up. And he also enjoys that nickname, just so you're aware. I filled him in on it already. Warren football didn't quite have the same outcome.
Not quite.
Rough game. So I attended that one. I was working, but I stopped by and I watched the majority of it anyways. 69-point victory for Meadville.
Nice.
76-7. I tried to get Brian Hagberg to say the number 69 on the post-game show like multiple times, wouldn't bite. In fact, he texted me while the show's going on. He texts me and says, "I know what you're trying to do." Because I comment. He's on that show with like 4 other dudes, and I'm like, and I go, Brian, what was the I put how many points did Meadville win by? And he wrote back, a lot. And I said, yes, but I need to know the exact number. Like, these are in the comments of this live show. And then he texts me and he goes, I know what you're trying to do. Wouldn't break though. Wouldn't break. I was kind of impressed. Sean, yes, I know we're feeling for you. Something about that game that I want to get to, and maybe Sean will chime in on this. Maybe not. After the game, watching that post-game show, Brian Hagberg, who did the live feed of the entire game, interviewed Kalon Simmons, who alleged that they ran up the score because the Warren guys were trying to injure them. Ooh. Brian kind of, in the post-game interview, Brian kind of immediately went away from that topic and on to other stuff, which I get. It's high school football. You don't,
right.
It's not, they aren't trying to cause the drama and that kind of thing. But I was curious. I want to know what the hell he's talking about, because I watched the game. I mean, even after the plays and everything, it didn't look like there was a whole lot of extracurricular or anything like that. So I don't know really what the Simmons kid was talking about, but he didn't have a chance to elaborate, and he did not elaborate. But I mean, like I said, I was there, watched basically the entire game. I didn't see anything, especially while it was, kind of close. Of course, there was, there was 3 TD. Meadville scored 3 times in the final 35 seconds of the first half. A botched kneel down, fumbled. Defensive lineman picked it up, ran the distance. Like, fat guy touchdown. Not gonna lie, it was actually kind of cool because I always like fat guy touchdowns. But no, I mean, it was just there wasn't anything that seemed dirty to me going on there. I didn't see any. If there was a personal foul for anything late or anything like that, I missed it. And I felt like I was paying pretty good attention to the game. Sean does respond, says negative. Yeah, I agree with you. I think, I don't know if the kid was looking for a reason to say why they scored so many points or what. I mean, I don't need an explanation for that. Like, of course I would rather have seen it gone Warren's way, but I'm all about foot on the gas the entire time. Everybody who listens to this show knows that. I encourage blowouts. It is what it is. But to make that accusation seem kind of bold, you'd think, I don't know. Just if there was anything I saw for the duration of that game and the post-game interviews that lacked class, it was that interview. It wasn't anything that the Warren players were doing. I mean, and I heard comments the Meadville kids were making running off the field after the first half when it's like 48-0, and they're making some pretty shitty comments, but whatever.
Yep.
Sean, ranked 8th in the state for a reason. They are a powerhouse. Yeah, they're good. There's no doubt about that. They have size. They have speed. Yeah, they're a good football team. Definitely no question there. Local shout outs. I don't have any more. Do you? Anything you want to add? All right.
Not that I can think of, no.
Buzzkill. What's got you buzzing this week?
Finally got the TV hooked up, so like I'm buzzing knowing that Sunday I can watch 8 straight hours of uninterrupted football finally.
Okay, wait. Are we allowed to get into the specifics of this or no?
I don't know if we are or not, but I'll tell you what, it's legit. It is legit. Like super, super legit.
I'm glad you don't live in the city anymore, because if that case would have come across my desk, I mean, I'd have nailed you to the wall. I don't give a fuck.
You're going to come kick in the door?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, right after you're like, turn the Bills game on while I'm arresting you.
Pretty sure Sketty's got some sketchy TV stuff going on. I can't say for sure, but he gave me the specifics of it. He doesn't want to share it to the crowd. That's fine. But I don't know, man.
Yeah,
I think
100% dicey.
You are rolling the dice, my friend. You are rolling the dice.
Yeah, it'll be all right.
Oh, okay. What's got me buzzing? Well, the Astros, 6 straight ALCS appearances. That's pretty badass considering I watched them not be good for so long. It's nice to have a team, that I can finally basically know, hey, they'll be in the playoffs. I'm aware, I'm comfortable. Beginning of the year, you kind of just know, they're one of the better teams in the league. Anybody who knows me knows my 2 teams are the Bills and the Astros. If you add up all of the horrible years that I've sat through for being a sports fan, it's older than a lot of people. So it's nice. But that's got me buzzing. Friday, I get to watch some. Saturday, when I get down to Myrtle Beach, I already got it mapped out. Well, not where I'm watching, but at least I know what nights after golf on the trip I'll be able to go find a cold beer and a TV and watch some World Series baseball. What's killing the buzz?
Honestly, this talk about, and the average person probably hasn't heard this. This is like coming from Niners fan sites, but like there's kind of a growing little roar that the Niners should trade away Trey Lance, and it makes 0 sense to me. I think it's so stupid. And I'm like, this isn't people commenting on stuff on Facebook. This is like people writing actual articles, and it's like, why would you do that? You just traded 3 first-round picks for the guy. They're saying that return for him would still be maybe a late first or an early second.
An injured player?
Yeah, well, they're saying like after he heals up next year, that's what they would do. Trade him, try and move him before the draft. I don't understand it. I do not understand what the logic behind that would be. Like, why would anyone like?
They're from California, the writers, right?
Yeah, I would assume. Yeah, I didn't like research.
That would actually make it make sense. Why it doesn't make sense?
Yeah, I mean, the last 2 weeks, this team's still pretty beat up. They're starting to kind of get some guys to come back, but they haven't looked sharp. Jimmy is not the answer there. We know that. He's fine, but he's never going to put you over the top. You have to put a good team around him. I just don't understand what the logic, especially after we just traded a whole freaking draft away for a 27-year-old injured running back. The guy hasn't been healthy since 2019. Yeah, I just don't understand it.
I copy that. What's killing my buzz is this might be a bad one because it's not. I don't think it is killing my buzz. I'm kind of like, maybe it did for a hot minute, and then now I'm like comfortable with it and I'm embracing it, and I think I like it, but I'm not sure. So I'll still throw it in what's killing my buzz. All the hate that the Astros are getting online, from every angle, from fans of every team. Today I watched a girl who is a fucking Mariners fan say, I wish I could have put Mark safe from watching the Astros in the World Series. Funny she says that, because this is the first year since Facebook's been out that she's been able to say the Mariners made the playoffs. So I was just like, I'm like, that's a 20-some year drought they were dealing with. And I'm like,
Right.
what are you even pissed at because they're a division rival? Who cares? And the Yankee fans, they're all pissed off. That's fine, because you know what they should all be hoping for? They should be writing letters to the commissioner of Major League Baseball asking for the Astros to be moved back to the National League, because that's the only fucking chance the Yankees have of seeing a World Series again. They are their daddy. It is what it is. Sorry, Yankee fans. I know life was good back when the Astros were a 100-team loss, just getting shipped over to the AL West. Times have changed. And now you're going to lose Judge. First, I'm calling it. I'm saying it's for sure they're losing Judge. I read today that the Giants are ready to basically put a blank check in front of him and say, what will it take to get you here? And I'm fine with that.
Yep.
I would leave the Yankees too if I carried their team the entire season just to get booed in the playoffs because I struck out a few times.
Right.
Like the whole team, you're booing Judge of all of them. None of the other guys hit either. Is what, you know? I don't know. Whatever. Andy's chiming in. As a Yankees fan, I saw this coming. Start hot, finish cold, and the Astros have our number. The hot start was like, I think calling it a hot start is almost like underappreciating what they did that early in the season. They were like on pace to win like 140 games or something. Stupid. Wasn't going to happen. Everybody knew that. But like their hot start was something that everybody was like, holy shit. Like these dudes they're playing some ball.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just, things like you said, it, finished cold. Andy saw it coming. He's probably obviously seen it a few times. I mean, it's like just, being a Dodgers fan, Andy, that when the season is 162 games long, you can just anticipate that they need another strain of COVID and a short season if they want to achieve anything. That's what the Dodgers, it's predictable stuff. So, and it's also, not going to happen. Well, I shouldn't say that. Really shouldn't say that. Ouch. Now Sketty is officially moved in. Now I'm the little guy in the corner. Perfect.
Little buddy in the corner.
Little buddy in the corner. All right, let's get to some reality overreaction. NFL edition. Well, it's always NFL. Week 7, reality overreaction. Are you ready, Sketty?
You ready as I'm going to get.
Reality or overreaction? Todd Bowles won't last a season as the Bucs head coach.
Man. I really think there's a chance this is reality. I mean, the Bucs are freaking bad right now. And what's really changed? Other than guys being a little bit older, getting rid of Bruce Arians was it. The question is who do they turn to? I mean, it might be a point where they just finish the season out because the season might be lost. But we'll see what happens there. Yeah, I think that this is something that could definitely happen. Ooh, love the Hagberg comment there.
What'd he say? I missed it. I got it. Hold on.
Not
Bulls' fault. Brady is washed. Yeah.
Absolutely love that.
Oh, don't worry. There's some Brady bashing coming. It's coming. We're about probably 15, 20 minutes away from Sketty going in on his favorite quarterback of all time. Reality or overreaction? Danny Dimes deserves another year as Giants starter.
I mean, I think at this point in the season, it's a reality. His numbers haven't been great. I think I saw something like Richie James is their leading receiver with 148 yards on the season. It's just kind of ridiculous what they've been able to do there. But, Dimes is winning games. If you're winning games, you keep that guy. You don't fix it if it ain't broke,
Yeah. Seems like he's playing different. And I don't know if it's the way that Dable's using them. That's kind of my thought, is that a lot of it has to do with Dable and the way he's coaching him and using him. Because, I mean, obviously, like when I see him play, I see a smaller, like kind of like a Josh Allen. He's going out there. He's putting his body on the line. He's running a little bit more than we were accustomed to seeing. I don't know. It's just I'm for him. I like the kid. I never had a problem with Daniel Jones. Of course, I've never really, had too strong of opinions on the Giants to begin with, but he just looks different to me, and it's a good way. It's a good thing, like a good different.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's something. The second half of the season is going to be telling because, while the Giants are finding ways and getting it done, I don't think they've really blown anyone out this year, unless I'm forgetting something here in the last couple weeks with the move going on. They're just finding ways to win games. So hopefully they keep it going, because if they start losing, it might be time for Danny to go. But I do think he's looked strong.
Dable is the reason why Danny's is succeeding. Agree with that. And Andy chimed, added to that a little bit. Having a healthy Saquon helps too. It certainly does. And said that you're climbing his liked list.
Oh, boy.
I wonder how far down that you are, though. Like, how far, do you have to go?
When you're at the bottom, you can only go up. You can only go up.
That's a fair point. Reality or overreaction? The Cowboys are a threat in the NFC.
Overreaction. I'm not even going to elaborate. It's complete overreaction. The Cowboys are what the Cowboys have been for the last umpteen years. A joke, terrible franchise. Defense is overrated. Micah Parsons, everyone thinks is the greatest thing since fucking sliced bread. I just don't understand it. He's a fine player. He's not even the best defensive player. He's a fine player. He's not even close to as good as Nick Bosa. It's not even in the same realm, but I don't know. We just he's a Cowboy. Lawrence Taylor too. Meanwhile, Nick Bosa is just leading all these statistical categories ahead of him. And it's nah, don't worry about him. Probably because it's racism. I'd say it's racism. Poor Nick, he's a white guy. They don't like him. I don't understand it. But yeah, I just overrated. Dak's terrible. The Cowboys are garbage. Hot garbage.
Our music stopped. Oh, I didn't have a loop on. Sorry about that. To the people who listen to us only for that music, I apologize. Ooh, we got some Dallas hate in the comments. Dallas sucks. Fly, Eagles, fly. Reality, defense wins championships. Kyle must be a Cowboys fan, we just learned.
How'd that work out for you last year, Kyle? Real good, right? Tough squad. Just got absolutely decimated by Jimmy G with a broken fucking shoulder. Sneaking up the middle one more time, Dak.
Reality or overreaction? The Titans will win the South.
I don't even know how to answer this. The South is bad, man. What's the Titans' record right now? They have 3-4 wins.
They've won 4 straight since they started 0-2, and I'm pretty sure 4 straight since, maybe. Yeah, 4 straight wins.
So what's your record?
4-2.
4-2.
Yep.
I mean, that might be a big enough gap to get it done in the South. The South is freaking terrible.
And they already have defeated Indy twice, I believe.
Yep.
Which is who would have initially been considered their threat. Yeah, they've beat them twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. If you can give me a little bit of credit here, did I not call this 3-4 weeks ago? Did I not say that Tennessee would still win the South?
Yeah, you did.
I like them. They're good.
It's far from put away, but yeah,
they're a good enough team in a fucking terrible division, is what they are. They can run the football, they can play defense, and that's literally all you need to do to beat the Colts, the Jags, and the Texans. It's not maybe Sam Ehlinger turns it around a little bit there in Indy. It will be interesting to see
what happens.
Is what he does, in comparison to what we've been watching there, which since we're on that topic, I'll skip ahead a couple and we'll go backwards from there. Reality or overreaction? We may never see Wentz or Ryan as a team's starting QB again.
I'm going to lean towards reality on this just because, Matt Ryan's 36-ish? He's got to be on the back end of 30, yes, I think.
100%.
I think he's probably just done. And Wentz is not very good, but I think Wentz is at least young enough he could at least potentially start someplace. But that's the only way one of these two guys is starting again. And
Wentz
I don't even know that
looks
Wentz
like he
has been
doesn't
so
want to
terrible.
play football when he's playing.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
what I see out of him. Like, there's just no like willingness to risk anything. He does, I just don't. Nothing about that guy is appealing to me as a starting quarterback. What teams could we sit and argue right now desperately need a starting quarterback? And would Carson Wentz be better than who they currently have? I guess is my point. Like, would you want him, like the Texans, Davis Mills? Would you want Carson Wentz?
Yeah, you're not taking. No.
I would say no because you're.
The Colts
Davis
might
Mills
want
is
Carson
still-
Wentz back.
Who?
The Colts might want Carson Wentz back. The Matt Ryan move didn't go so hot. They were at least in contention last year.
Oh, Andy, the Niners will want him when they trade Lance. Dude, that'd be hilarious, man. If we, wow, if they traded Lance and then Jimmy G leaves and they get Carson Wentz, what would you do?
You would have to put me on the watch. I'd be at third floor. I'd be moving down the hill to the third. Take me to the state hospital. Do something with me. Oh God,
committed. We've got to commit you.
Yeah,
I get to some other comments here before we go back to some other ones. Andy says Sketty's really climbing the chart. Terry says Dallas is garbage with a capital G. Sherm, 3 playoff wins in 30 years. Call me when they win 2 playoff games in the same postseason. Are we still on Dallas hate with that comment?
Yeah, we're still on Dallas hate. Everyone knows.
Tony says Fetterman should coach the Bucs. Yikes. I mean, if you wanted them to be terrible, I suppose that would be a good option. Oh, Brian, does it matter who wins the South? No.
Nope, not at all.
Absolutely not. It absolutely does not. But the thing is, somebody has to do it, right? They aren't.
Somebody does have to. Yep.
We've been in the. There's been conversation in the past. This wouldn't be the first time we talked about it, and it won't ever be the last. That when a division is so bad, and they're, what was it? 7, 8 years ago, 9 years ago, 10 years ago, that Washington made the playoffs with like a 7-9 record, and had a home playoff and hosted a home playoff game because they were a division winner.
Seahawks did it because that was the Beastquake game against the Saints when Marshawn had that crazy run. Yeah, they were 7-9. Yep, that was. I think that was 7-9. Yep.
I mean, I'm not in disagreement with that. If you have a division that's loaded and one of those teams or more has to miss because of whatever, and you're replacing a good football team with a division winner just because they won the division, even though they're trash, that's kind of fucked up. I mean, if
yep,
really it is. All right, let's move on to.
You're all messed up.
What's that?
So we jumped around and now you're all messed up.
I'm fucked up. I don't. Here we go. Reality or overreaction? Joe Burrow and the Bengals are back. Offense is looking better.
4-3. They do look like they're turning it on. They're still only 4-3. Again, we'll see. I'd say it's trending towards reality. They're starting to look like they're getting a little bit of that mojo going again.
Hunter, 8-8 Giants beat the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. Anyone can win any given Sunday. That is true, and probably one game where. Oh wait, Dave's correcting him. He said
they're 9-7. Yeah.
Regardless, they beat the undefeated Patriots, and that was probably a game where the Giants, in that one single day, had more fans than any team ever did. In the history of sports.
I was rooting.
In one single day,
hard for the Giants.
So was I. Here we go. Reality or overreaction? The 49ers overspent for CMC.
Reality. I don't know. Do we got to discuss this? Complete reality. They literally traded a whole draft worth of picks for a banged up running back. We've seen this happen 2 other times that I can recall. Herschel Walker and Ricky Williams. How'd that work out for both of those franchises? Garbage. Straight garbage. You cannot do this. I don't know what they're doing. Yeah, he makes them better this year, but you better freaking hope that they somehow pull out and win a Super Bowl this year, because if not, you've set the team back probably 3 years with this move.
Okay, so the next one was a Tom Brady one, and I'm going to refrain from putting that one up because we're going to save all Tom Brady talk for Sketty on. Is that fair?
I'll let you ask that one. We'll start Sketty on with your reality or overreaction. And
Okay,
I'll
cool.
build off of it.
That's a good idea. Remind me. All right, last one. Reality or overreaction? Aaron Rodgers is a double-digit dog for the first time in his career, and the Bills will cover that spread.
Reality. Hammer the Bills. The Packers are no good. I've been on the no good Packers for 4 or 5 months now. Yeah, they're just not. They're not a quality team anymore.
We should do that. Should do that at the end of the year. See which teams we rode the most, and which teams we rode the most, and they fucked us because they lost. We should do that. That's a good idea for later on episode. Once we get into the playoffs, maybe that'd be cool. That's a good idea.
Short of them getting a receiver, I don't know what's going to happen. They got to make a move.
Yeah, so the Bills are 5-0, coming off a bye under Sean McDermott, and the last 3 games they've won by 10 points or more. So I kind of factor that into when Josh Allen started coming into his own and putting up crazy offensive numbers and scoring a lot of points. I really like the Bills' situation this week, and in fact, I think the coaches for Buffalo like it so much that they're keeping Trey White. I think's ready. Everything I heard all week was he's ready, and they aren't playing him Sunday, and I think that's because they're so confident in their secondary against this. I hate to say it because I do, everybody who listens knows I have a little secret crush on the Packers. I don't like bad mouthing them at all. But their receiving core is garbage. Alan Lazard.
I think it just got worse. He got hurt, right? Lazard is questionable for the game.
Does that make it worse? Because I really don't think he's good. I don't think he's not a number one. He's been at least scoring touchdowns. I have him on my fantasy team, so I know he's at least he's getting me 10 points every week. He dirt bags a touchdown, which means Rodgers trusts him in the red zone. But yeah, they just don't have the help there they need. Adams was a huge loss. Yeah. Oh, Adams was. Yeah, absolutely was. But obviously because I talk to Matt Ramage all the time. I'm actually going on his show tomorrow. I'll talk about that later. So if anybody wants to tune into that, I'll be on his show tomorrow night at 8:00. He's a Packers podcaster. He's hilarious. Really just a good dude. So, but just talking with him and stuff and watching comments on his pages and everything where people are they don't trade. That's not what they do. What makes you think they're going to start now? What makes you think, well, maybe they could realize that yeah, exactly. What you're about to say. Finish your sentence. Windows closing. That's exactly right. It is. Yep. And I mean, there's literally people on some of those pages you want to talk about delusional that are bench Rodgers. It's Jordan Love's time. Yeah, bench Rodgers. We're not even a year removed from an MVP season for Aaron Rodgers, and you're saying that he's just that trash now that you're going to bench him for Jordan Love? When you're
back-to-back MVP seasons,
they can't get any separation. If you watch any of their games, their receiving core is just bad, and they are, for some reason, avoiding handing off the ball and committing to the run with Dillon or Aaron Jones. I don't know why, but that's not going to get any better against Buffalo. They've been playing really well against the run this year, ranked first currently in the league. I just don't see that situation getting better for them, going into Buffalo. But yeah, my prediction for this game, and I'm going to give it again when we get to the 3-bagger, because I can tell you right now, Sketty and I both have this game in the 3-bagger. 10.5 points is where it's at right now. Probably getting closer to game time. It might even slide down a little bit. That's usually those big spreads tend to, especially in the NFL, because people NFL teams getting a lot of points. It makes sense. But my prediction for that game is the first half. It's gonna be maybe a 3-point lead or tied going into the half, and then you get into the second half, and that's where Buffalo's defense has allowed 17 points through 6 games, 10 of which came to the Chiefs. And that's where I think they break it open. They cover 10.5 easy. But we'll get to that. Like I said, a little bit more in the 3-bagger. That's coming up here. Probably about what? Holy shit! It's 8:24 already. Okay, we got to move on. I didn't realize we told those boys 8:45, so we got stuff to get to before that. Of course, it's not crazy long segments. Like I said, pretty quick show tonight. Aside from the opening segment, clearly. But, that's all I got for opening. You have anything you want to add before we head into break?
Nope.
All right. The Buzz is brought to you by Busch Light. Attention hunters, your favorite camo cans are back. Get it wherever you purchase your adult beverages. Please drink responsibly. Napoli's Pizza. That's right. When there is football season on TBSP, there is Napoli's. Weekly specials, pickup or delivery available. Located in North Warren. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with This Week in Sports History, my mom's birthday edition.
Whenever you crack open a Busch Light, the mountain starts singing.
It's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you.
What is going on?
Hit it, Giant Kenny G.
It's so smooth.
Head for the mountains of Busch Light beer.
Hungry? Watching the game? Order some Napoli's Pizza, voted the best pizza in the Times Observer Reader's Choice every year. Homemade, hand-tossed, delicious hot pizza, stromboli, salads, subs, and so much more. Located in North Warren, come on in or call 814-723-7455 and ask about our specials. Pickup or delivery available 7 days a week, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Again, that's 814-723-7455.
Hi, this is Brian Hagberg, and I wanted to take a moment and tell you about our new website, yourdailylocal.com. Your Daily Local is your new home for news, sports, and events in Warren County and beyond. Our goal is to cover the people, places, events, and happenings that matter to you in a variety of ways, including writing, video, and audio. And the best part? All of our content is available for free. Head to yourdailylocal.com to get the news you need when you need it.
Let's take a look back at this week in sports history.
This Week in Sports History brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. Like I said, today's my mom's birthday, her favorite segment on the show because she watches every show because she's proud of her boy.
Happy birthday, Mom.
Happy birthday, Mom. So this is the Barb edition. 3 fast facts that took place on October 26th. So we'll start with number 1, 1960. The American League approves the Washington Senators' move to become the Minnesota Twins and announces franchises for LA and Washington, D.C. for 1961. I didn't look into this. Who was the team in Washington?
I don't know.
Who came after the Senators? The Nationals are like kind of new. I'd have to look into that. Somebody in the comments knows. Please enlighten me. I should have looked that up. Didn't even think about it. But LA, I would assume, would have been the Angels, right? Because Brooklyn became the Dodgers. Or wait, was Brooklyn moving to LA at that point too? See, I should have looked this up more. I don't know anything. But yeah, that's what happened in 1960 on October 26th, today. Number 2, 1985. On a poor call in Game 6, umpire Don Deckinger starts a string of events probably costing the St. Louis Cardinals the Baseball World Series. They lose 2-1 to KC when leading the series 3-2. So they ended up blowing the series. Apparently, they're blaming it all on poor Don. Joe Colosimo Maybe he has some insight on that one. Being, isn't he a Cardinals fan?
Big Cardinals fan. Yep.
Oh, well, maybe in 1985 he was like our age now, so he'd probably know some stuff too. Bam! Take that, Joe. 2005 Baseball World Series. Chicago beats Houston 1-0 in Game 4 at Minute Maid Park to sweep the Astros and win the White Sox first title in 88 years. The MVP was outfielder Jermaine Dye. See, anybody who says that I'm a biased Astros, I'm just throwing that out there so that when they win this one, you guys can say you only talk about when they win. Nope. Talked about when they lost too. Got somebody in the comments. Hopefully it's Joe. It's not Joe. They were the Expos. Oh, okay. Thanks, Hunter. I don't follow, but I'll figure it out. I'll
He's
do
saying something's not adding up, but the Expos moved to Washington to be the Nationals, I believe is what he's getting at.
right.
I think.
Correct, but they're saying in 1961 they approved another franchise after they moved Washington out. So what was that franchise?
That I don't know.
Me neither. Yeah. All right, that's it. Quick sports history. We got a cruise. We got guests coming on. This week in sports history is brought to you by Your Daily Local. Visit yourdailylocal.com for the news you need when you need it. We're going to take a even shorter break, and we'll be back with Sketty on Thomas. What's his middle name?
I have no idea.
I bet Hunter knows it. Probably got a poster of
Thomas
him.
washed up Brady.
I bet you Hunter has a poster of him on his ceiling above his bed.
I'm sure.
All right,
Cries
we'll be
every night because he misses him.
Oh, he definitely misses him. He did put a post that didn't age well on Facebook the other night when Zappy came in and led 2 touchdown drives. He's like, Zappy's just got it. This kid's just got it. And then, they didn't score again after that. So
I was doing the same thing. That's it.
Yeah,
Mac Jones is over.
We did do that, which was hilarious. But you just can't put that stuff out there to where public eye. You got to keep it.
Yep.
Keep that inside. Let it marinate. Let the game happen, and then do your posting. I've been a advocate for that for a long time. People should put their phones down during games. Read stuff.
Yeah.
Read other people's stuff. Watch them look stupid. Don't be stupid yourself. Put the phone down. After the game, throw all the comments you want out there because the game's over. Because there's too much that didn't age well stuff happening where they say something and then boom, an hour later it just doesn't add up. All right, we'll be right back.
Hey there, everyone. This is Phil with JP Photography. I know. A photography ad on a sports show? I get it. You're here for sports talk and listening to Joe and Sketty's insane rambling.
Wait, what?
But bear with me for a few. I just want to tell you that JP Photography not only offers wedding photography, but also does events, engagements, headshots, family photos, and even some product photography. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for JP Photography or go directly to our website at johnphilphotography.com. That's JONPHIL photography.com.
He's absolute trash.
Sketty on. Let's have a listen to what Sketty's on this week.
0% chance that works.
This week's Sketty On is brought to you by Complete Roofing Systems. The best the business has to offer, match with the best prices. For your free estimate, find them at crsroofingteam.com or call them at 716-640-4609.
Check out this comment right here.
Yeah, he would have 2 middle names.
And Hunter would know it. And I guarantee he didn't Google that. He might now come back and be like, no, I looked it up. No, you didn't. You knew it. No.
He knew.
Yeah, he knew it. Wait, so hold on. I got to fix this. Let me fix this banner real quick.
Reality or overreaction for me to start this thing, right?
But I'm going to pop that up there first.
Okay. Tom Edward Patrick Brady.
Was that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, Edward Pack.
Thomas.
Tom Edward. Okay. Banner's coming. We're starting off Sketty on with a reality or overreaction. Reality or overreaction, Sketty. Tom Brady should retire now.
Reality, tomorrow. Put the notice in. Tell the league you're done. Get the hell out of there because he is washed up. Tom Brady losing back-to-back games to fucking, was Kenny Pickett or Mitch Trubisky? I don't even know who played in that game. And then to PJ Walker, like, you're done. It's over. It's been a fun ride. You're done. It's time to get out while you still can. Don't subject us to your memory being this horrible last season. Hunter says overreaction. He's wrong. Brady is done, man. He's 45 years old. Father time is undefeated. He just doesn't have it. Funny enough, Riley suggests that Giselle practiced witchcraft to like make Brady good, and now that they're divorced, she's putting the hexes on him, and maybe that's why he's terrible. Whatever it is, he's done. The dude is toast, and I gotta tell you, nothing makes me happier than watching the Bucs lose. I might even take a little bit of credit for this because I drafted Brady to my fantasy team, and everyone I draft always turns to shit. So you're welcome. I should have done this 20 years ago. We would have had a better life. But no, it's awesome to see him washed up. I'm happy it's over. He's not playing another season. We are watching Brady's final games right now, and I love it.
All right. So to add to this, something I listened to today that I found intriguing. Tom Brady has an out right now that will not make him look like a bitch for leaving his team in the middle of the season. Because that is what a lot of the takes would be. If he retires right now, it's going to look like, okay, it's going to put a little bit of a damper on the legacy. Would it not?
Yeah.
Would it not look like, well, he should have left, he retired, should have stayed retired, then he came back, couldn't hack it, now he needs to go, and he did, left his team high and dry, middle of the season, what a bitch. That would be the takes, I think, that you'd be seeing primarily. However, I listened to something, like I said today, that I thought was super, super interesting. Hold on, great comment. He's overdone like the peppermill eggs. Overpriced like the peppermill chocolate milk. That's what I would say. I mean, if we really want to get into the menu here, I know some things. Anyways, if Tom Brady retired and cited all of the things going on in his personal life as the reason why he needs to step away from the game of football, it would save him a whole lot of face.
Yeah. Although it might be too late now, because I mean it's pretty much out there that divorce is happening.
But I still think you could pull it off. We're in a climate now where mental health challenges and things like that, instead of them being shined on with a negative light, people are saying, "Hey, way to fucking come out and say it. Way to come out and say." That you got things going on and it's bigger than football. That's what the quote is that you see all the time now when one of these players has an issue, has to step away from the game for a minute. Bigger than football. That's what everybody will say to him. This is bigger than football. Tom Brady has this is a bigger than football scenario knocking on his door right now. If he would choose to open that door, it would save him a lot of face and he could get the fuck out of the league. Which is
who? I can't remember who they play this week.
Tell you in 2 seconds.
Man, why can I not
Ravens.
remember that?
It's the Ravens. It's Thursday night. I'm pretty confident. Let me double check that. They host the Ravens Thursday night.
They're saying that Brady should have a big game this week, and it's like he should have had a big game in the last 2 weeks. Josh Allen didn't have any problem tearing up that Pittsburgh defense. The Panthers are not good.
Correct.
I just think they're done. Whether it's Bowles or him, it's over. The party is over. I don't even know if Tampa Bay would have him back next year.
Get to a few comments here. Hunter says Mike Evans dropping wide open touchdowns, defense banged up. It's one play, Hunter. It's one play.
Yeah, Hunter. You scored. What did they score the last 2 weeks combined? You just scored 3 points on the Panthers. What they score against the Steelers in that loss?
18, I think. Wasn't it 20 to 18?
Something like that. I mean, this team has not. The offense has not looked good at all year long. There's not been 1 week where you thought, okay, this Bucs team can do it.
And to add to that, Hunter, let's say you're right. Let's say you're right. The defense is bad. The receivers aren't playing well. He doesn't have much time in the pocket. His offensive line's banged up. Why stick around? For what? A rebuild? To shore up the team? Like, I just don't see what good can come from that. I think the Super Bowl window came and it closed. I don't see how there's a major turnaround that guy's going to do, whether it's this year or even next year. I know he said the other day he's playing until he's 50. Go ahead. That doesn't even bother me anymore. It used to. And if it is true that Sketty should have drafted him 20 years ago and we wouldn't even be talking about this guy right now, then I'm mad at Sketty. I'm going to put myself an angry emoji up on the screen like Andy did. Like, fuck, thanks a lot, Dick. Like, we could have not even been dealing with this guy, but Hunter says to say he's washed is just excessive. Well, I don't know. I don't think so. I want to see what Hagberg said here.
Yeah.
No, this is different. He looks like he'd rather be somewhere else instead of on the field. And I think the video that came out of, was it Cameron Brate getting loaded onto a cart and he's over there playing catch with a ball boy? Sure, you got to keep your arms.
Oh, exactly. Whole team. Yep.
I'm fine with that. You got to stay loose. He's old. I'm old. I played flag football. Tighten up. Sucks. I'm old. Tom's old. Yep. He's older than me, and he's still, playing at a much higher level than the Warren Flag Football League. Not by much, but he's still playing by a pretty high level. But that to me told me he didn't want to be there. He did not want to be where he was. He's over it. And I think the shit happening off the field is weighing on him, and it's just getting close to time, and it can go one of two ways. It's either going to be a little bit of a tarnished legacy where people are going to talk about his last year and what happened, or
I still maintain, he should have retired after he won the Super Bowl. He went there for a year, won the Super Bowl. That should have been it. He should have never came back last year.
Right.
I hate when athletes do this. They try and hang on him, and we saw it with Peyton Manning. The guy had a storied career. Now, granted, he won a Super Bowl going out because his defense was so good, but even that year, he was so freaking terrible. They won that despite him being so bad. It wasn't like he carried that team to a Super Bowl. It's sad to see when athletes hang on like this.
Right. Yeah. Just see how it plays out. I mean, there's plenty of season to go, but like I said, I do believe that he has an out right now. If he chose to take that, I don't think it would look bad on his end. I think it would be a little bit more of an understanding reason. He's losing his family. There's just a bunch of shit going on. It's like, if you have this opportunity to step away and address personal matters and get your head on right, then do it.
Yeah, I mean, we're almost to the halfway point. I really thought, games against Pittsburgh and Carolina, I said, okay, this is time for the Bucs to get a couple easy wins.
Yeah.
Really get some momentum going for that second half, and it just didn't happen. Like, I just don't think, I don't know. They just don't impress me.
No. All right, wrap it up. We'll get into things that sting.
All right, this week's Sketty On is brought to you by Complete Roofing Systems. The best the business has to offer, match with the best prices. For your free estimate, find them at crsroofingteam.com or call them at 716-640-4609.
All right, we'll be back. Quick break. Get into the things that sting. We're going to fly through it so we can get into My Hive and get our guests in here. Stick around. It will be about 10, 15 minutes. We'll have Coach Damcott, Coach Miller of the Warren Dogs, the champs, coming in to join us. Stick around.
Jones Pest Control, your hometown pest control company servicing residential and commercial properties in Warren and surrounding areas since 2015. Sean and his crew will work tirelessly to keep your home or business free of insects to rodents and everything in between. Contact Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548 and set up an appointment today. And remember, ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control, 814-230-9548.
Checkout means sales and services with 2 locations on Warren's East Side. Their garage at 800 Lexington Avenue not only services cars sold by Means, but has knowledgeable staff and modern state-of-the-art equipment waiting to serve their hometown of Warren. Whatever you need, including alignments, tires, brakes, yearly or enhanced PA inspections, oil changes, and much more. Make your appointment today at 814-723-7191, extension 2.
It's now time for the things that sting. The worst stories in sports, according to Joe.
This edition of the Things That Stings, powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. That's 814-230-9548. All right. Four stories through 5 stories. We're just going to get through them quick so we can get to our next segment. Get the guests in here. The bye week boogie is on. If you've been a long-time listener, you know what the bye week boogie is. That's when teams go on a bye week. The bye weeks start. That's when the arrests start pouring in the NFL. It's fun to watch. You never know who it's going to be, and you always hope it's not your team. The Bills survived their bye week. I'm feeling pretty good about that. When's the Niners bye week?
I don't remember, honestly. Hopefully soon. They need it. Whole team.
California teams don't really count anyways because it's almost impossible to get arrested in California. So
true.
You know, that's why Vegas.
You can't.
The Raiders blew it. They should have stayed in Oakland.
The Niners can't have anyone get in trouble anyway because you can't get in trouble from a hospital bed, and that's where the whole team is training.
Actually, from experience, disagree. I've seen that happen. That can most definitely happen. All right. So, Oli Udo, how do you say that?
No idea.
Okay, well, that guy whose name is on the screen. Sounds good to me. Yeah, that dude, who is a offensive lineman for the Minnesota Vikings, was charged with misdemeanor resisting an officer without violence, which some of you might say, how can you resist without violence? Well, it's simple. You're disobeying lawful orders. Still resisting passively, whatever, maybe laid on the ground, wouldn't move. I don't know. But and disorderly conduct. According to the Miami-Dade County Police report, he was observed in a nightclub or by a nightclub security officer speaking with a woman who was in line for the bathroom. He then tried to enter the woman's bathroom when she went in, according to the report, forcing the security guard and 2 others to step in and remove him. He allegedly refused to leave the restroom once the security was in there trying to get him out. He maintains his innocence, says that the girl's even, on his side saying he didn't do anything wrong. So there's not a lot of details that came out with that one, but we have one arrest. And that's the important thing is the NFL is keeping up with the times. They aren't slacking. 1 bye week, 1 arrest. It's good stuff. Because we got plenty of those to go. The next 5 weeks, right? 6 weeks, something like that?
Yep.
Okay, so Al Michaels offends Twitter. Not hard to do. If you've been on Twitter before, the blue checkmark people will come after you if you disagree with them. If you watched the Thursday Night Football last week, which was right after the show because we were on Thursday last week, Taylor Swift dropped a new album at midnight. I think there's some correlation with midnight, a song name, album name. I don't know. Not a Taylor Swift
album's
fan.
name's Midnights. Yeah.
Okay, so announced during the game, they did a commercial with her, like she did a bit where they promoted the album. Al Michaels after that was quoted on the live broadcast saying, "You have 4 sons. If you had a daughter, she'd be over the moon. I have a granddaughter who is completely over the moon right now. Nobody more popular among the teenage girl group than Taylor Swift." That set Twitter into a frenzy because Some guys like Taylor Swift too, Al. Why is it just got to be teenage girls? I know.
Dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I know, man. I know. It's, Troy Aikman, now Al Michaels. Troy Aikman was last week saying they need to take the dresses off, meaning the quarterbacks and the hits that they're taking, and he took criticism for that. Now Al Michaels under fire. I think he's old enough that he's just like, he's probably like, what the fuck is Twitter?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm out. He doesn't care. He does not care. All right. Moving on. Mike Evans, video came out of him. Looked like he was signing autographs for the refs. The refs were cleared of any wrongdoing. They were not seeking autographs. What he was writing, I don't know. What happened in that video? I don't know. Did they give an explanation? Because I didn't see one.
Golf Pro's number, because apparently the ref went to Texas A&M too, so he was giving him some dude's number to go get lessons from, golf lessons. It's what I saw.
I mean, that could be. Yeah, I don't know.
That's literally what they said.
I thought he was attesting to a scorecard.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying that's what I heard.
I'm kidding.
It was all over golf
He's not
lessons.
attesting. It was a golf joke. You missed it. It's a bad joke. Whatever. We'll move on. But yeah, either way, he didn't do anything wrong. The refs were cleared. Mike Evans was cleared.
I didn't understand that. Like, they just got drubbed. Like, it's not like the refs helped him win a close game. They're like, yeah, give me your autograph. Like, they just got smoked, man. Who cares?
True. Our boy, the only person inducted into the Things That Sting Hall of Fame, because he's been on the segment so many times, Antonio Brown, trolling Tom Brady. This might be the ultimate troll job. Did you see what he's doing?
Where he's photoshopped himself onto Tom's body with Giselle?
The T-shirts?
No, I did not see the T-shirts.
Okay.
I just saw the pictures he's been making.
AB has started a little movement where he has T-shirts made with Giselle on them. He's selling them for $50 a piece, and all proceeds go to fatherless children. Such a dick.
That's pretty good.
It's funny. It is funny. Like, he's just been hammering Brady relentlessly since this whole thing has transpired. It's been great. But all right, last one. A little bit of sadness here. So we went from AB good joke to we're ending on this note. San Jose State running back Camden McWright was killed in a scooter accident. The accident happened Friday morning, just blocks from the road from the football facility. And about 30 minutes before a team meeting was set to begin, San Jose PD said a bus carrying 14 students struck him while he was on the electric scooter. No other injuries were reported. Police said that witnesses saw a bus that had a green light on South 10th Street and appeared to be in the right of way turning onto Reed Street when McWright collided with the bus and ultimately killing him. So it's sad. There was a lot of, if you're interested in seeing that stuff, if you like sad stuff, which I don't know why you would, but I watch all of it. There was a lot of like really good interviews with family and teammates and stuff like that, where they said they had a lot of really nice things to say about the kids. So it's a shame, bright future, and unfortunate accident ends that. So bad way to, is that a bad way to end the Things That Sting? Should we start with those ones? I don't know.
We should start with the sad stuff and work back to happy.
Work back to happy. We're going to do that from now on. All right. This edition of the Things That Sting is powered by Jones Pest Control. Ants, spiders, bees, or mice, don't think twice. Call Jones Pest Control at 814-230-9548. Our boys are already in here, so we're going to cut to our commercial break, and we'll be back here in about 2 minutes, and we'll get the interviews underway with Coach Kyle Miller, Coach Dwight Damcott, and I believe Lil Owen's with him too. So he's going to talk some football, tell us about, he had a big pick. I watched the video in the championship game, so it's going to be cool. Stick around. We'll be right back. Blue Line Auto, located at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren, is locally owned and operated and is a family-run business specializing in vehicle sales and service. They offer state and safety inspections and general car repairs, including but not limited to brakes and rotors, tires, oil changes, batteries, starters, and alternators. They also offer vehicle undercoating prior to winter to help keep your vehicle protected. Currently, their hours are Monday through Wednesday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., and Thursday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call them today to schedule your next appointment at 814-230-9061. Your safety is their goal.
Hi, this is Ryan Klein, the host of the new pop culture podcast, Me, Myself, and Rye. You can find me on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and several other platforms. Special guests, breakaway shows, bonus episodes, cold beers, and a whole lot more. So what are you guys and gals waiting for? Subscribe now to the Me, Myself, and Rye podcast on Spotify or wherever it is that you get your shows and start listening today.
My High, Joe and Sketty's very own world of sports.
My Hive is presented by Blue Line Auto for all your automotive needs. Call Blue Line Auto at 814-230-9061 or stop in at 1606 Pennsylvania Avenue East in Warren. Joining us, the Olean Youth Football. I don't know the acronym for it. It's way too many letters.
Anyways.
Yeah. Give me the name of the league.
Right now it's the Olean Youth Football League.
Area.
Olean area. Yeah.
Olean Area Youth Football League champions. We have Coach Damcott, we have Coach Miller, and we have little Owen joining us as well. Hi, Owen. How you doing, buddy?
Good.
Good to see you. All right, boys, thanks for coming on. Really appreciate you taking the time. We wanted to do it last week. It was kind of short notice, and you guys were like on a championship trophy tour. I saw 10 different places showing that thing off. It is, 7 feet tall?
Yeah, it's pretty tall.
Yeah. Tallest trophy I've ever seen. It's amazing. And didn't it fall apart?
It did. It did while we were celebrating after the win in Cowdy.
That's all right. Nothing a little glue can't fix. All right, Dwight, we'll start with you. Real quick before we move forward, Dwight, are you head coach? Are you both head coaches?
Kyle's the head coach.
Kyle's the head coach.
Yep.
Kyle's head coach, and Dwight, you are just assistant coach, offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And Kyle, do you run the defense?
Correct.
All right. Well, then we're starting with Kyle. Sorry, Dwight. Take the back seat, pal. We're gonna talk to Coach, the head coach, Coach Kyle Miller. Tell us how the season started, how it went down. Give us a little walkthrough of from beginning of practice all the way up to championship Saturday.
Well, I'd actually like to start from the very beginning when we built this team. When we figured out that we were moving this in a direction that we're going in a travel league, the things that are coming about is like who's going to be coach, who's going to be head coach of one Warren team, who's going to be the head coach of the other Warren team. And then, what kind of assistant coaches could we have? And when we were talking, I was like, me and Dwight get along really well. We have like-minded football philosophy. We vibe together really well. So I knew that I wanted him on my staff. We got together when we figured out, okay, this is going to be us. I was like, you're going to be my offense coordinator. You're going to run the offense. And it's like, how do we want to build this team? And we didn't want the most talented players. We didn't want the fastest players. What we wanted was coachable players, kids that were respectful, kids that we knew that were going to listen to us and follow us. So when we put this team together, it was our kids. We actually took the core of his team from the year previous and the core of my team from the year previous, and we put them together in the same team. And then our first practice was July 11th. And let me tell you how much personnel changes throughout training camp.
Yeah.
A lot. Tanner Stewart, we started him off as quarterback because usually at any level, your best player is normally your quarterback. Towards the end of the season, we switched him to running back. But what we did for the offense is we put him at quarterback and we built the team around him for offense. And then On defense, I don't want to get too much into my scheme. But if you look at the stats, which Coach Stamcott will give it to you later on, our linebackers had a crap load of tackles, but that's scheme-based more than anything else. We did have some studs at linebackers, though. Didn't matter who stepped in. We did not expect this season to go this way. This is the first time ever in Warren history that the kids at this age played competitive football. You weren't allowed to shoot gaps. You couldn't blitz before. There was splits with the linemen. It was, there was, to me, when you get to 5th and 6th grade, you should already have the fundamentals of football down. That's when you should be really pounding in the live competitive part of it and get them ready for junior high. I believe that because of that, that's the reason why the culture, other than the undefeated Eisenhower team this year, but the culture of football or any sports programs in this town's been lacking for a very long time. And I think it's because when they get to junior high football program, they're trying to teach them how to play football. And that was putting them way behind, where you got teams like, I'll bring up Kane. They've been a powerhouse for years. Smithport's been a powerhouse for years. That's because they're playing competitive football at a youth level. They're very serious about their youth programs in them towns, and that's the way it should be, because that's your future athletes.
Hell yeah.
Another thing it brings you is like the graduation rates in those towns are higher. The rates of kids being successful in those towns are higher, because when you're on a winning program and you're in like what we ran, our kids are very disciplined. Our kids are very respectful. They know that hard work is going to result in wins. This is things you learn in life. When you put the work in, you get what you want, right? You don't just, you don't just quit. We used to say it all the time. Do you want to live in mom and dad's basement for the rest of your life? If you don't, then it's going to take some work. You're going to have to face adversity. Our team did that a lot this year. They never quit. They never quit in any single game that we played this year, even the 2 that we lost. The second week of the season, we played Smithport, who had won back-to-back championships in the league, and we lost to them 6-0 on their final play in overtime. I'd lost my grandfather prior to that week, who raised me, and that was a real emotional week for me. And those kids played their hearts out, and after the game, they were crying because of all the emotions, like they thought they let me down and stuff. So that showed me a lot, because it's like, wow, these kids are really connected to me. And that's when I knew. I was like, this is a family. This isn't just a team. We're creating a family here. When me and Dwight put this together, that was one of the things that we drove home. It's like, before we even start doing football, it's like, it's culture and mentality. And, that's what we built. And I couldn't have had a better guy by my side for this, because Dwight's been amazing through all this. We're really good friends outside of football. So it was a storybook year. I'll say that.
So the 2 losses, one was to Smethport, and then the other would have been to Cowdy 2-0, right? And it was on a bad snap.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so it wasn't even really that you were beaten by Cowdy. You kind of defeated yourselves in that game by, one mistake.
We did.
Yep. Yeah, and then, corrections made. You play the same team in the championship, and the result goes the other way, right? 12-6, I believe, was the final.
Yeah, we actually avenged both losses.
You did, because Smethport was semifinal.
We shut them out in our first playoff game there.
I was there.
Yeah, that was a good game. Defense, we're balling. And then then the Cowdy game it was the same thing. We went in there, and Dwight, you say it all the time. We both say it's like, get us a lead and we're winning this game. It was 6-0. We're feeling pretty confident, and then they came out in the second half and they're killing us on the B gap. And I don't know why my defensive tackles were just like zoned out in that. And my outside linebacker on the right side wasn't watching the cutback lane, and they just drove right down the field on us. But after that, we got corrections. What's nice about us is we have a great coaching staff. Not just this goes beyond me and Coach Dwight. We have a phenomenal, volunteers and assistants. So we're able, as a head coach, I guess, see what's going on in the whole game. But I trust Dwight so much that when he's on offense, I don't have to be standing there by his side. I can go to my defense and coach him up, and then my assistants doing the same thing. So with me and my assistant coaches, we're able to correct those mistakes, and then that was it for Cowdy for the rest of that game, other than the very final drive, the 2 final drives, the one that our boy Owen got a pick at. Now, to set that up before he talks about it and to show you the culture of this team, we had a kid that wasn't performing very well in that game. He wasn't very focused, and then I didn't pull him out he came up to me and was like, Coach, I can't do this. I'm just hurting the team. Like, I can't focus. He's like, I can't go back in. And I'm like, that's pretty amazing to me when a 10-year-old comes up and says that to me.
That is amazing.
Now, Owen hasn't played corner at all year. When he's on my defense, I've had him at defensive end. I've had him at free safety, or I've had him at middle linebacker next to Tanner. And I was like, Owen, you're going to corner, because I trust him. You know, that kid's, I mean, he's a baller. He's smart. And he goes in there, and then he ends up with his first career pick, and it was a heck of a pick. I mean, he just seen the ball coming, and he made a break on it. It wasn't like the thing was thrown to him. He played it well and broke it. He did. And that was pretty amazing. And then for the very final drive, you know, they were getting us on the passes a little bit, got down the field, and then it was on a third down. And this is what I love, especially being a father. My son had been setting this tackle up all game long with these moves, and he did a phenomenal job. Like at defensive ends, you don't get a lot of tackles on my defense, because what you're doing is you're funneling everything into the middle. And they couldn't get the edge on him all game. Well, he set this tackle up, and he just made a heck of a rush and drilled the quarterback as he was getting ready to throw it. And then Nate Harris just made an insane diving play on it. And that was the only time the whole game I didn't blitz Harris. I told him, I was like, spy the quarterback. I was like, wherever his head is, just follow him. So it was just the way that ends. I mean, that you couldn't ask for. That's the stuff you dream about.
So now, do you guys return next year, or what's the age? What's going forward for the Dogs? Is there another year of Dogs? Will it be a new coaching staff, a bunch of new kids? How's that play out?
Well, we need to. It's something we got to talk about as a board, but we're on the, majority of us are on the same page with it. We need to keep the consistency with this if we're going to keep building, these teams. I believe that we should return the same players with the same coaches. I mean, some of them are moving up. We actually had, what did we have, Dwight? Sixth graders. That was it. We won that. How many was it?
8.
We had 8 sixth graders, and I think 4 of them are starters. So the majority of that team was starting 5th graders.
So they'll be able to play again. The 8 sixth graders will have to move up to junior high football, right?
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Dwight, let's talk some offense. So here's something. I could have sold your playbook for a lot of money to Smethport or Cowdy, because Dwight's like, check it out, my game plan. And I'm like, Dwight, trust me, because he's sending me this stuff.
Yeah.
No, we were talking. I mean, me and Dwight talk a lot of football. And I think I saw a comment somewhere. Somebody was like, I bet Cassie talked to Dwight before he came on the show. I'm like, this is Dwight's like 4th time on the show. He's been on here a bunch talking football. In fact, I think we didn't mean you do one full episode together back when it was before it was video. It was just us sitting in a basement bullshitting.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was like, yeah, Dwight's a veteran. He's been on a good amount of times, but no, yeah, he's texting me. He told me, this is what I'm going to do. And I was like, it sounds rational as all hell, because Tanner's a hell of an athlete. My original plan was to have him come on with you guys. And the only reason I changed that is because I intend on having him and his 2 sisters on at the same time, because that could be its own episode, because those kids are so athletically gifted. And it was funny because, like, obviously Dwight was always like, dude, come to a game. And I'm like, they're on Sundays, Dwight. You know that I do not leave my house on Sundays. Like, it's NFL day. It's very important. And I don't know how much time I'll have left doing this, because I have a boy of my own now. So eventually I'm going to have to be recording games and throwing my phone away so nobody ruins anything. And but I was able, he's like, hey, playoff game Saturday. I'm like, excellent. I have Asher. We'll come down. So I brought him down, sat with Sean Wilson. Sean taught me a lot about the league that day, because there's a lot of things I didn't know. The weight restriction and stuff like that. The green stripe. Is it green stripe on the helmet?
Yeah.
And those are the kids who are not allowed to touch the football in a skill position, right? Running back, wide receiver, et cetera, quarterback, which I think is brilliant, because anybody could take their biggest tank kid and be like, hey, run. And it's going to be a little bit harder for him to be brought down. So, he taught me a lot that day, but it was just really cool to go watch and watch you guys in action, and the way the kids responded. And like, so I guess my only youth sports like coaching experience was when I lived in Tennessee. I helped my half brother coach his son's t-ball team, and the t-ball practice field was right next to an airport. So you can imagine that we got no practice done ever, because as soon as the plane was landing or taking off, practice came to a screeching halt, because otherwise somebody was going to get drilled with a ball in the face, because they're all looking up watching the plane. So it was fascinating to see how much structure you guys had with these kids and how they responded to it. And the only time I saw them act like kids was when the celebration song came on after they won, when they all started. I mean, they're, doing a little booty popping. They were dancing, having a great time. I took a cool video, posted that up on the page, but they were having a blast. And it was awesome to see. Kyle, I couldn't agree more with your theory on the culture of sports and what, you're doing these 7th and 8th grade coaches favors right now, really, if you think about it, because they're going to be prepped when they get there. They're going to know what plays are. They're going to understand, situational football. It's not something that's going to have to be taught to them. They're already going to know it. So I love that take. When you said that, I couldn't agree with that more. I think that's a really, really great way to look at it. Dwight. So anyways, Dwight's giving me the offense. Tanner Stewart, it's like, he's going to kind of be our little bit of a workhorse, right? And I saw Tanner Stewart throw down a stiff arm in the Smethport game that I think part of the kid's helmet's still in the grass up at the Sheffield school, because he just, I mean, it was like had some Derrick Henry-esque to it. He just tossed the kid. I had Josh Norman flashbacks in the Titans-Bills game from a few years ago, which was a traumatic night for me, if I might add. But Dwight, get into the offense a little bit. Tell us about, what you saw, what you, put together, and how it was all executed.
Well, I felt it had to pretty much orient around the run, because it's hard to find kids who can pass block at this age, a quarterback who can throw, a kid who can stand in the pocket, withstand the pressure, and make an accurate throw. That's hard to find at any age, especially at this age. But then to deliver an accurate ball that's catchable and the kid actually catches it, it's hard to find. So you need a lot of things to go right to have a successful passing game. Whereas you have a kid like Tanner Stewart, you give him the football and we would give him the ball and say, hey, go do Tanner things. And he would bury kids, 6 feet under with a stiff arm, or I think he could juke a kid out inside of a phone booth. It's just watching him practice was insane. And it's twofold, because it helps our defense too, because if you can tackle Tanner, you can tackle anybody in the league. And if we can defend those kids in practice, we can defend anybody in the league. So we had very competitive practices, very hard-hitting practices. All of our injuries came during practice.
Yep.
I think we had one kid that fell during a pregame warm-up and broke his thumb, and that was like the only game day injury we really had, because we hit harder than any other team in the league. So we got hurt in practice. So we knew we were physical. We knew that going up against our scout team in practice, that was going to prepare us for games, because these kids are physical. They show up, they want to hit, they want to play, they're ready to work. They bought in from day one. We kind of built that discipline structure in the beginning, and it's not like we were huge dicks or anything. Just, hey, you need to do your job. Like, we're going to have fun, but we're here to work at the same time. And I think they bought into it. And I told them before that championship game, that we showed up as individuals. By that first game, we were a team. By the end, we were a family. And it really showed, because everyone came together. They bonded. All the kids are friends. Like, maybe they weren't day one, but for the most part, obviously you've got a few kids that don't get along here and there,
It's life.
Battling in practice and stuff.
I hate Sketty.
There you go. So it's part of life. But for the most part, they're all friends. They're all buddies, and they hang out together outside of football now. But just having that relationship at practice, that bond where the kids don't want to let the other kids down.
Right.
And like Coach Miller said, that second game of the season, they felt like they let him down. So the kids had bought in already,
And we just
Clearly.
built off that, and they just came together. I mean, it's a great group of kids.
Yeah.
You know?
Owen.
And
oh, sorry, Dwight. I didn't mean to cut you off. You got more? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, back to what you originally asked. We built the offense around the run just because we knew we had a stud runner, and football is all about putting your best positions and position to succeed to the best of their abilities. And Tanner can throw, he can catch, he can block, he can run. You ask him to do something, he can do it. But at this level, I felt like running the football was our best bet. So early on in the season when he was quarterback, we ran it up the middle with Havers because the weight limit for ball carriers is 125. He was anywhere between 122 and 124 on game
That
day.
first game, he scared us. He came in, what was it, 124.5 or something like that. I was like, oh, my God.
Literally 124.9.
Oh, yeah, that's what it was, 0.9, yeah.
If you had 2 celery sticks before this game, you're going to be over. Like, you're killing me. And that was the first game, so we were kind of worried. But he got his weight down. His dad was like, he got into the pizza this weekend. No worries, we'll get him good to go for the season. But Colin was a kid you didn't want to tackle him all game. You couldn't tackle him for 4 quarters. Yep, 124.9. But you didn't want to tackle him for 4 quarters because he's going to mow you over. You're going to get hurt. It sucks.
Oh, yeah, he did. Yep.
Our backfield was like the old late 90s Buccaneers team, the WD-40. You had Warwick Dunn, which is kind of like Tanner. He's quick, he's fast, and he'll juke you out and then outrun you for a touchdown. Then you got Mike Allstott, who's just going to pound your face into the dirt, and that's how Colin ran the ball. I told him that my therapy session was watching him run the football because it just made me feel better about life. Watching him. But early on in the season, our game plan was to basically soften the defense for the first couple of quarters with Colin, and then bootleg it with Tanner. Get everybody to suck in, and we just bootlegged it with Tanner, and he would just outrun everybody and score, do Tanner things. And that was kind of our game plan early on. Once we moved him to running back, his more natural position, that's where he felt more comfortable and he felt more at home, and we didn't have to bootleg. It kind of opened up the offense a little bit more because he could run wherever. We could hand him the ball, pitch it to him. We moved him back to quarterback a few times to throw. In the championship game and stuff, we did that as well. But yeah, Tanner, he could do anything you asked him, but his specialty is running the football and just either powering through kids or running
making
around.
them miss.
So, yeah. And we had great complementary pieces as well. When Owen came in, he's a great open field blocker. So he's great at lead blocking. He can run the ball a little bit. And he found a second gear this year that I didn't know he had. He didn't have it in the beginning of the year. But I put him at a quarterback when we were up on Smethport in the playoff game, and he bootlegs it, and he takes off.
Yeah,
he takes off. Like,
he surprised us all on that one.
Yeah, like he's sprinting. Like that's he's not just running. Like he found that second gear. So that was awesome to see. I was really proud of him.
Awesome to do.
Yeah, I was really proud of him for that. And he found that second gear, which is huge because there's a difference between running and sprinting. And he found that ability to sprint. Then Grant May gave us, he's one of the fastest kids in the league and great on defense. He led the league in interceptions.
Yeah.
And the kid's got great hands and he's fast and he reads things really well. And he can make things happen with football in his hands as well. And Blake Peterson was another great running back for us. He was the starting running back to start the season. Unfortunately, we put Tanner back at running back, who's just the best player in the league. And Blake just got bumped down.
Blake had adjustment issues. He was used to hitting the outside a lot because the way the league used to be, you coach him just to get the perimeter, especially when you're the fastest kid. But you can't do that now. It's so competitive, and he had a real hard time adjusting and hitting holes that are like this big. And all that is just adjusting to the way the league is now.
Mm-hmm. So we'll coach that out of him hopefully. Next year. Get him hitting the holes right and trusting his blocks a little bit. And We struggled blocking a good part of the year just because, for the most part, our offensive line topped out at 140 pounds. When we played counter support, they had 3 defensive linemen that were 190 pounds. And,
they were big.
Each kid had a 50-pound disadvantage.
I don't think they had a kid under 90 pounds, to be honest with you. That was a big team.
Yeah, they're just big, and they were physical.
And Cowdy was undefeated until the championship, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
They actually pretty much went through every single team they played, except for us, the 2 times they played us.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Owen, you ready to do some talking, my friend?
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about the season. How you've been getting into football for a couple years now, right? This isn't your first rodeo, but this is first time traveling, obviously, for everybody. What was your take on it? Did you like going to these other fields, other places, and making all these friends on your team? Tell me how it went.
Well, yeah, at first we were all just these kids that just wanted to play to go to the championship. But then once we started winning a little bit more, we started like getting closer and just turning into a team, and then we felt like we were brothers by the end.
I love that.
Yeah.
Tell me, walk me through the play in the championship, the interception. So pre-snap, what are you seeing? What's your plan? What are you looking at? Tell me how that all went.
Well, I did expect the pass, so I was like over top. I was farther back, and I knew they did a lot of slants, or they just ran. They just went for a go. Yeah. So I knew either to watch the go route or watch the slant. And I saw the QB like looking toward the middle, so I ran up and basically just I didn't know I had the ball until I saw it. Until I caught it, and then I just tried to go as fast as I can, which I couldn't really do. But
too happy?
Yeah.
That's okay, man. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, you can excitement can take over. It does things to people. It's fine. Nothing wrong with that. You secured the ball, you went to the ground, and that's just about sealed the game, if I'm not mistaken, right? Was that the
almost
Harris? Almost. Was it Harris who had one? Harris had the game sealing one. Okay. Yeah, I knew it was. They were pretty close together though, weren't they? Were they consecutive series or was it?
Yeah, Owens was about 4.5 minutes left in the game.
Okay.
And Nate's was about 1:17.
Yeah,
I think.
Where were they at on the field when Nate got his?
19-yard line. Our 19-yard line.
So they were moving.
Yeah.
Excellent.
They did this play to 43 where our corner didn't pick him up. He was standing over on the sideline. It was like one of those trick plays where they didn't have 43 go into the huddle. So he stayed over by the sideline, pick him up.
Unaccounted for.
Yeah, and there was a bomb down the field that got him down there, and then we held him the next 2 plays. Well, that was third down that happened on, so we held him the first 2 plays on third downs when Chase hit the quarterback and Harris got that awesome interception.
I personally try that in flag football every once in a while, but the problem is my team wears bright-ass orange jerseys. So, like, you stick out like – I lay on the ground. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Oh, okay. I didn't know you saw me, but guess I have to try." But no, Owen, it's I really appreciate you coming on and talking some football with us. Question for you: when you visit WPD, who do you go for? Who do you go to for candy?
Oh, it's a pretty easy question.
Owen, who gives you candy when you come to WPD?
Oh, you.
Every time. So let's have a conversation about that real quick. pre me having a child, we were always on the fence about if we were going to have kids or not. It was never a guarantee, never something that we completely committed to. So I always was like, hey, kids come to the station, I load them up with sugar, send them home with parents. Doesn't bother me any, right? I'm just ruining somebody else's life. Well, now I have a bad feeling that that's all going to come back full circle, and I'm going to have to pay my debts to these folks, because I'm going to have a kid coming home and is like, I saw Dwight, he gave me a giant candy bar or something. I'm great. This is great. So I dug my own grave on that one. I feel, I'm owning it. I'm owning it.
The best part about the sugar rush, though, is the sugar crash. It's coming eventually. They'll be hyper for a while, but eventually they crash.
But then they go down. Okay. Yep. Noted.
Yep.
Noted. All right. Here's what we're going to end on. And I'm going to let you, each of the coaches, answer this. And Owen, if you want to answer it too, we can do all three of you. It's all good. What play, if you can think of one play throughout the season where maybe you two looked at each other and you're like, we got a damn good football team right here. This team can do something. If you can think of one single play that happened where it just clicked and you guys were like, damn, we got ourselves a squad.
I'd say it was in practice.
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah.
The hitting is insane, man. Like we had, like I said, mentality at the beginning of the show. My defense, when we built it, it was just mentality. I was like, if you guys are not physical and aggressive, you just won't play defense. So if you want it, you got to come get it, and you got to be out there wanting to take heads off every play. And it just went, it was just infectious. It went throughout the whole team. So both sides of the football, every kid on our team, just about, for the most part, the large percent of it, they're just physical. And we had some insane hits in practice. Like when me and Dwight were just looking at each other like, man, it's like I would not want to play these kids.
Yeah.
So is that what we're agreeing on? Is it practice?
Yeah. I told him I'd like to see him up against the junior high team. Just
for real.
Try it out. Not saying they beat him, but
see what happens. Yeah.
They hit. They ain't backing down. I can promise you that.
Owen, do you agree with that?
Yeah. A lot
practice.
Of big hits were in practice.
Did you get some good sleep during the week after the nights you had practice?
Yeah.
You get tired? They wear you out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
I just wanted to go to sleep when I got home, but I had to
that will never change in your life, just so you know. That's me every day. Oh, and that's every day I come home. I'm like, I just want to go to bed. All right, I'm going to end on a quote from Dwight Damcott that he texted me today that I thought was really cool. And I actually didn't even respond to it because I wanted to respond right now. I was setting up with Dwight to get this going for tonight. And I said, thanks for coming on before he even, you guys even came on. And he said, no, thank you. It's awesome getting to recognize these kids and bring some attention to our youth programs. They're not playing for scholarships or anything, but these kids work, and I truly appreciate it. And clearly, you guys did a phenomenal job with them. They bought into everything you were selling, and it resulted in a trophy that's 2 times as tall as anybody on your team.
Yeah.
So,
can I say something real quick, Joe? Just real quick.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
For us, it goes beyond football. We're not just trying to change the culture of like the football program. We want to change the culture of the kids and community. So everything we do, like the structure, the discipline, the demanding respect, all that, we're trying to instill it in these kids for more than just the sport. We want them to take that and put it into the community, because we just don't have enough programs. We don't have enough anything for the kids around here. I do a lot of mentoring of the troubled juveniles we have in this area, and we just don't have enough of that. So I just want so much focus on the youth sports and make it such a big deal, because I want it to be infectious. I want to spread throughout the community. I like to see us change the culture of the kids being more active, kids having respect for the parents, for others. Like it goes beyond football for us.
Kids don't want to work.
Yeah. And we need more than just us. You know what I mean? So that's the big reason why, I want to thank you so much for having us on here. I mean, this
absolutely
is huge for us. And Brian Hagberg and the Daily Local for, covering us all season and putting it out there. The guys, the fire departments that came, the police departments that came, this was such a big deal. And it was like we told the kids, this is the reward right here. This is all for you because of all the hard work you put in for us. Mm-hmm. Everything that we went through this season, this is for you because you earned it by doing the things that we asked of you, being disciplined, being respectful, and bringing it every single game. So, that's the thing. I mean, when you get things in life, it's because you worked hard for it and you don't give up. You face adversity. You listen even when you don't want to listen. Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to instill. So, like I said, it goes beyond football.
Definitely. And I'm glad, Sketty and I are extremely happy to do our part and shouting out some of the names at the beginning of the show during the local shout out segment. We always, in fact, I think I hunted Dwight down a couple times when the story hadn't been published yet, because we used to do shows on Mondays throughout summer or, into September. And there was a few times there was games and, I'm writing the show notes and I don't have anything on your Daily Local yet. No bash on them. They're efficient and great. Times Observer sucks, if anybody was wondering. So, just throwing that out there. A little plug for Brian and Andy. But no, I like hunted Dwight down. I'm like, need a story. And then he'd send it to me, and I'd have some notes to talk about. No, it's cool. I think it's awesome that, they're not just playing Warren kids now. It's not, so it's not like we can leak any type of bias. We can just cheer for the Warren teams, and I don't have to care about Coudersport, really. But that's just the way it is. But no, and to add to what you said, I love that you're doing the it's bigger than football approach, because it is, and you immediately cited right at the beginning graduation rates. Kids chasing dreams, being successful. Whether that results in, leaving the area and coming back, or leaving and never coming back, or just staying here and being successful here. It's awesome that I love that you brought that up right away. That was like kind of priority one, like something you were just ready to get off your chest. And I'm glad that you did, because that right there, you had me. I'm ready. Can I play next year? I'm ready.
I can help you coach, man. We'd love that.
They're gonna have to put a whole roll of green tape on my helmet.
That's what I say. I'll be a striker. I'm good with it. We preached work ethic. That was the one thing, like, you got to get from this program is work ethic. Because you don't need talent to work. You just need to be willing to put in the time, put in the effort, show up every day, and give it 100%. And if you do that, you're going to be successful. Like, you could have disabilities, learning disabilities. You could be coming from a tough household. You could have bad grades. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, if you put in the work and just keep pushing, keep grinding, you're gonna be successful.
And we had the best depth in the league.
Yeah,
we had 4 kids that played both sides of football, so that's 8 starting positions out of 22. That was it. Because these kids just brought it. We could trust other kids to play just one side of football. We didn't need, like most of the teams that played, it was 11 of the same starters on both sides. We didn't have that. Our depth is insane. And the reason why we had that depth is because it was coached.
Yeah.
They earned it.
We had Tanner Stewart, right? Okay, everybody knows this guy's a phenomenal football player. He's probably going to end up being the best athlete to ever come out of Warren. Let's be real. The kid is committed. He's dedicated. He's not on cell phones. He's not on game consoles. The kid's working every freaking day. Whether it be lifting, jogging, whatever it is, the kid puts the work in, and it shows the results. But we didn't focus on him. We didn't focus on the kids that got it. We built the team, around it. So it was just on defense, I schemed to set up him to get a bunch of tackles in my linebackers. On offense, the way that Dwight ran that, he schemed it to try to get him in open space so Tanner could do what he could, does what he does best. But it was a team. And Cowdy, the championship game, was probably the best example. That was a team win. Mm-hmm. That was a team win. Everybody, even all season long, every kid was doing their part. Every single kid.
Well, it's great.
In every spot, they earned it.
Go ahead, Dwight.
Every kid in every spot, they had to earn it.
Yep.
Our kids didn't play offense most of the year. Owen played mostly defense most of the season.
Yeah, Chase played defensive end the whole season.
Yep. Owen got beat out at tight end. That kid started. I was rotating him most of the year. to start the season, but the other kid earned the spot over him. So my kid or not, he's going to play there. And Owen picked up on defense. And
he's sitting right next to you, Dwight.
That's all right. He knows.
He knows. They know.
He took that extra
earmuffs.
He took that extra time and extra reps on defense to get better on defense to the point where he was one of our top defensive players by the end of the season.
Yeah.
And then, you see him hit that second gear in that playoff game, and it's like
he did. He was cruising.
He developed an offense as well, so he earned playing time on both sides of the ball, but he wasn't given anything just because he was a coach's kid.
No, our kids. We're just talking about this last night. Our kids, mine and his son. I mean, and then we got some other assistant coaches' sons of the team, but especially mine and his son because of the position we're at as assistant coach. Like I would say, Dwight's my assistant head coach. I'm head coach. And the way that we run our family, not just the football team, but we expect so much out of our kids that they just got, dude. They would never get the second chances that some other kids got. Like if our kids messed up, it's like you're done. Like, like my kid might get pouty about something. I benched my kid. How many times I benched my kid? Like 3 or 4 times I benched him.
It got exhausting, to be honest with you.
Yeah, just for his attitude at home or something.
It's like, dude, he's the best defensive end on the team. Would you stop benching him? It got annoying, but he showed up.
I'm true to it though. I like it. I like the consistency. You got to stay consistent. That's important.
But Chase wouldn't quit. He
doesn't.
Benched. He'd come back and he's like, I'm just going to earn it back. And he did. And it just kind of developed that mentality that whatever happens, you just keep working and you're going to get what you want. So,
well, and one last note too to add to when I was discussing the shaping them for life outside of football too, being respectful, being just good kids. That's something that I know Dwight in his real life big boy job. And, my job being a police officer as well, we appreciate that. That's helpful. Because I'm sure Dwight's heard the famous saying, I've used it multiple times on calls. Ma'am, I can't change 15 years of bad parenting in 15 minutes. And that is what a lot of people expect out of us. And, when you are on your own time laying groundwork and some foundation for kids to learn discipline and respect and all of that, it's awesome. And all it does is it helps everybody. It helps them. It helps everybody.
Yes.
So it's awesome. I scrolling through some of the comments, I tried to post whatever I could, but I mean, this looks like a lot of parents from the dog family in here.
They're amazing.
To support you guys. So it's cool. Shout out some of them: Melissa, Amanda, Cap, Robert, Christy's in here.
Papa Cook. He's one of our assistant coaches.
Jerry, I know Jerry real well. Known Jerry a long time. So no, it's awesome. Clearly they're everybody's all in because they're here and they're pulling for you. So with that, I'm gonna let you guys go. I appreciate you coming on and talking some dog football. And we can do this when you guys get figuring out what's happening next season. We can do it prior to the season. Have a conversation then and see where we're at, and hopefully the other Warren team gets some things turned around too, and get I'd love to see both the Warren teams just running the league. Should we have invited these guys into this league? Because now nobody else is winning, but down in Warren. So no, it's great
for a Hogs Dogs championship.
That'd be awesome.
That
would be great. That would be great.
Well, they think really cool. We've had issues where they thought we're stacking one team, and it's like if you guys knew Nick Bryan,
yeah,
they let another team get stacked.
Yeah. So, all right, gentlemen, Kyle, Dwight, Owen, thank you guys so much for coming on. Congratulations on the great season. Stick with the philosophy, boys. I love it. I absolutely love it. Honestly, thought we were just going to talk some football. We talked more than that, and that's even better in my opinion than the X's and O's. We could do that all day, but when you get down behind the scenes stuff, that's where that's where the gentlemen are built, and the wins start to flourish. So it worked out great for you guys, and want to thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
Owen, do you want to shout out any of your buddies before we let you go? No?
Wow.
You don't want to say hi to anybody? Say hi to mom? Anyone? No one?
I think he's getting camera shy.
Yeah.
You getting camera shy? All right, Owen. I'll take your silence is deafening. All right, boys. Hey, thanks for coming on, and we'll keep in touch, and we'll do it again soon.
All right. Thanks, Joe.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm into the whole. Honestly, that was Kyle's responses right from the get-go, just going straight. We didn't even talk football. Went right into this is our purpose here. It's not just a game. It's not just, game planning and practice and this and that. It's respect. It's discipline. And it was cool. That was awesome to hear, especially, these boys are young. We're talking 5th and 6th graders, so this is a hot start for them, and it's going to be fun to watch as this progresses, what it equals when we're talking Warren football here, and Warren high school football or Eisenhower, Sheffield, wherever they're playing, just watching all of that kind of translate into the high school level. It's going to be cool. So thank you guys for coming on. Greatly appreciated. All right, real quick, Sketty, we got to blow through the 3-bagger. You ready?
Yep.
I'm going to throw on some tunes. I think we did tunes last time. Acoustic,
Don't remember.
cinematic. Sounds good. Sounds soft. Soft like Sketty's voice. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. All right, 3-bagger. For those of you who don't know, we had a lot of new listeners tonight. So every week we're doing our bets. So we're going to get to our Week 8 picks. Let's review Week 7 real quick. I went 2-1 last week. Every week, Sketty gives 3. I give 3. Sketty picks the Niners game on top of that. So he actually does 4. Week 7 picks. I went 2-1. You went 2-1, right? Is that how we went? Yeah. I had the Titans.
All I do is go 2-1.
That's true. I went 3-0 last week. I'm on quite a tear right now. I'm 2-1 this week. Went Titans minus 2.5 for the win. Falcons plus 6.5 did not cover. That's their first loss against the spread this year, though. By the way, Jets plus 1.5 pull out the win. That puts me at 13-7-1 for the season. Sketty, Giants and Jets give him a couple wins. Took the Packers, which I am safe bet he doesn't do that again the rest of the season. He is now 12-9. He had the Chiefs in the lock of the week with the 49er game. Took the Chiefs minus the points. They covered. The lock of the week goes to 5-2. All right, on to this week. Sketty country, let's ride. Giants plus 3 at Seahawks.
Yeah, I just really think the Giants are the better football team. I can't believe they're getting points. Just easy pick for me.
Hold on a second. I can't do this acoustic stuff anymore. We're changing it up. I was about to fall asleep. All right.
No kidding.
Riding the Titans minus 2.5.
Okay.
They're heading to Houston. Houston's not a good football team. Probably going to get the first pick in the draft. Titans are rolling right now. You can give me them against anybody in their division under 3 points. I'm taking them. It's a no-brainer to me. They've covered 3 straight at least, if not, I think 4. I think in their win streak, they've covered 4 straight. 4 straight wins against the spread. 4 straight wins outright, obviously. I'm riding the Titans again.
Yeah, taking the Bills over the Packers. It's the Packers. You're not going to burn me 2 weeks in a row, Pack. I'm going to see the Bills just run it up on them. This team is not what it was. I think this is easy money.
Yeah, so that's my selection as well for my second pick. We actually, our next 2 are the same, so this will be brief. But the Packers offense is abysmal right now. It has no identity. They don't know what they want to do. They should be running the ball more. Probably they're not. They're still trying to force passes to these receivers who are getting no separation. Like I said earlier in the show, my prediction, we see a close game in the first half. The Bills have allowed 17 points in 6 games in the second half of football games. 17 points in the second half, 10 of which came in their last game against Kansas City. They had only given up 7 points other than that game. So 7 through 5, 17 through 6. I think they turn it on in the second half. Packers will not score in the second half. And we're going to see, a 28-10, 31-10. I'm in that neighborhood in this game.
Yep.
Here we are, the same on this one too. Bengals -3.5 at the Browns. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the Bengals look sharp right now. The Browns can't get it together. They've been in games, they've been close, so might get burned by that half a point. But I just really think the Bengals are hot right now. I don't think the Browns are going to be able to keep up with them.
With you, riding the Bengals here. Am a little bit afraid of the hook. You have the Browns, like you said, they're keeping games manageable, close, scary enough that you kind of want to take them with points. However, I think the Bengals offense is starting to hit its stride. And with that said, the Browns will not be able to keep up with them. So I do like them -3.5. Like I said, a little bit scared about the hook coming back to haunt me. Something stupid, offense stalling, Browns get some dumb points. Could be something like that. But I'm taking the Bengals eating the 3.5 at Cleveland in the Battle of Ohio.
I forgot Njoku's out too, so that should help things for us.
Correct. Sketty's lock of the week: 49ers 1.5 at the Rams.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to go back to the Niners. I think this is one of my blown lock of the decades. Not going to let it happen again. Niners will win this as long as Debo plays, which I'm thinking he's gonna. But yeah, if he plays, it's over. CMC's been there for a week. They're just going to have too much for the Rams. The Rams are just not very good right now. I think the Niners kind of just going to get off this schneid this week.
Yeah, me betting against the Niners when they play the Rams will never happen again.
Smart.
Yeah,
regular season anyway.
Yeah, I think we're looking at Shanahan starting another streak against McVay. Rams are just kind of brutal. I mean, they're another team that just doesn't seem like
good.
Another team with no identity. Stars on defense, offense playing like trash. It's just where they seem to be. So, all right, that's going to wrap up the show. So, reminder, next week, Sketty's going to be responsible for everything, advertising the show, telling you when to listen, where to listen, all the good stuff. Of course, you can listen like you normally can right here on Facebook Live or YouTube. We're live on YouTube right now, too. We're live on Twitter right now. Any of those 3 places if you want to watch the live show. If you just want the audio, that can be found on Spotify, Odyssey, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcast or music. You can search us. You'll find the audio. I usually have it downloaded an hour after the show. But like I said, next week, Sketty's going to be the man. I'm going to be golfing at the beach. It's going to be awesome. I'm pumped, man. It's going to be a good time.
I'm jealous. Yeah,
you should be. Maybe we'll do a beehive trip sometime.
I like it.
Maybe we can get Busch Light to fund it. We'll talk to Paul.
Paul, that'd be even better.
Paul, send us somewhere. Anywhere.
I like that.
Yeah.
We're not picky.
We'll talk to him. No, we're not. We'll just make sure warm enough to golf and numerous courses. That's all. Only requests. But yeah, so next week, like I said, Sketty will be in control here. Andy McIntosh, our boy, the New York Giants correspondent. We might have to call them that now too. By the way, Commanders, I'm about to give up.
I see. People not recognizing.
I've been trolling so many Washington football pages, misspelling it and saying Commanders. And not one person has corrected me every time I do it. Every comment I put, I spell it wrong, and not one person has corrected me. Not one. So either they are just so angry at that team that they don't read well. I don't know what it is, but anyways, yeah. So also tomorrow, if you're interested, probably if you're a Bills fan, you might be, or if you just want to chime in anyways and or watch or whatever, I will be on the Matt Ramage show tomorrow, 8 p.m. He is a Green Bay Packers podcaster. You can search him on Facebook. He goes live on Facebook just like we do. But he also has about 78,000 more followers than we do. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, I'm going into the Lion's Den tomorrow. So it might actually be worth watching because I'm literally going into a guy who gets, 500-600 viewers a live show, and they're all Packers fans. And I'm talking about the Bills versus the Packers. So it should be interesting. we might be getting some death threats in the inbox by the time that one's over.
Now I know why you're leaving town. Have this plan.
I'm just going to put your address up and then leave bolt. I'm out. All right. Thank you, everybody who tuned in, commented, gave us a like. We appreciate that. If you're watching us live, always give us a like or an angry emoji, which means you're just making fun of Sketty. That's all that is. We know, I can look. We only have one, and it's Andy. So people, Shocker. Andy's not mad at us or anything. If you give us an angry emoji, it's a way for you to make fun of Sketty. It's fun. Everybody likes to do that. So thank you, everybody, again for listening. Dwight and Kyle, Owen, thanks for coming on. I want to thank the sponsors real quick. Swing Juice, Busch Light, Napoli's, Your Daily Local, JP Photography, Mean Sales and Service, Jones Pest Control, the Me, Myself, and Ride podcast, Blue Line Auto, and Complete Roofing Systems. Thank you. And Sketty, I'll be back 2 weeks from today. Until then, take